Alright, so welcome back to another installment of Don't Watch This. And again, if you watched the first video, you know why I'm calling it Don't Watch This. But what it is, if somehow you missed the first video, is really I'm actually doing a pretty in-depth game review of the most serious games of Go I've played this year. And of course, these were at the US Go Congress, which you can see pictured, right here on the screen. From that first video, though, I did get a bunch of comments. I recorded this with a bit of sinusitis. My voice was a bit off, so some people complained about that. One person even said, I'd rather have you not make a video at all than try to make it with a weird voice, because I guess apparently it freaks them out or something. And so if you were one of those people, I apologize for trying to provide you content even when I wasn't feeling well. But besides that, in Don't Watch This one, I both, tried to give you guys my own insights to my game, which, I'd been through quite a few number of times. In addition, I had a pro, Yulin Yang 7 Pro, actually go through a good chunk of the game and give you his comments. And then I also ran it through a Leela, the Go AI software, and I actually did this on a, we'll say an off-site server, which supposedly reviews at like the 7 or possibly 8 Dan level. And so I had a lot of things to say and a lot of things to learn from that video that I hope that you guys found really enjoyable and in depth. And it went to a level of game review that we're probably not used to on my channel, quite honestly, which is really dedicated more towards just fixing simple queue mistakes. So anyway, we're back for episode 2. Because it turns out the Go Congress lasts a pretty long time, and the U.S. Open in particular 6 rounds. And after I, had my very proud win on day 1, I wanted to share with you what happened on day 2. So day 2 happens at the U.S. Go Congress. I wake up and I actually had gone to bed kind of early, and I think I only drank was it a full beer the night before? I was in pretty good shape. Normally at this point in the Go Congress, again, it's a very social event, so people are out late and hanging out and going to bars and doing all that stuff. But after I won day 1, I was really excited to get back and play more Go, especially because of the baby and my lack of really serious Go games this year. I was really motivated. So anyway, I woke up early day 2. I went down to the cafe, just basically ordered as much tea as I could drink, brought it back, got to the playing center even a little bit early, and just sort of started relaxing. Oh, by the way, the comments, I did have Feng Yun 9 Dan Pro. She looked through this game, and actually I thought a lot of her comments were very interesting considering what the Leela robot spit out later when I got home and analyzed it, and I'll tell you more about that in a second. So anyway, that's the setting for you. I was playing against Li Jiajun. I really have no idea how to pronounce this. I'm not going to try. But he was a fairly youngish, adultish Chinese player who played significantly faster than my previous opponent. My day 1 opponent, she didn't take as much time as I did, but we were playing on a similar time frame. Lee did not do that. He was playing his moves probably about half the time that I was playing mine. So there is going to be a very big time disparity as this match goes on. Again, the time settings are 90 minutes per side plus 5 30-second Yoyomi. But anyway, day 2 I was also white. This is also fairly typical. Most of your Go Congress games, you'll find you'll alternate colors with a few exceptions. So I got to play the white player, even though I like playing as black first. I like big. I like outside. Black is sort of a little bit more my default style. So anyway, the first 4 moves, and nothing too remarkable. And in this case, black plays the orthodox, which is what I had played the day before. So this is, in a sense, very similar to the game I had won against another Chinese player the day before. I played on this side, which is not what happened the day before. My opponent played from the outside, which is a little, we'll say, unorthodox and not mean any sort of pun by it. I do want to go to move tool. So playing this side, and this is sort of the more modernish way to deal with this. And for those of you who don't know this position very well, basically the idea is black is both taking territory and building some sort of Moyo type structure, some sort of large potential. When white is playing something quasi-Chinese-ish, we don't really know unless white, continues to build it in that sense. If white were to play from the outside, this is kind of saying, hey, we're going to try to compete and see who can build faster. I'm not really interested in trying that out as white in general. White usually has the incentive to reduce first because white gets the Komi and can't build as fast. And so that's why you play a move like this. You play actually on the inside of your opponent's formation. Again, the most traditional response is here, though many other things have been tried, like this stone perhaps, and even attaching or probing over here first. But again, this is a fairly standard response. And black plays this pincer, which again, very standard. Black, normally we don't like this pincer. Like 2 spaces as low is at least by human standards. I won't speak for the AIs, but by human standards, traditional. I'll say prior to maybe 20 years ago. I can't remember. Maybe it was even 30 years ago. Was seen as a too large of a local loss. Basically, you're not hurting the stone enough, and you're also not threatening to take enough. It's both like not enough pressure, but it's also not dreamy enough. Whereas, if black played here, oh yeah, now we're saying, hey, if you don't do something with the stone, black's going to take a really big area. Or if we play this stone, when white tries to move the stone around, there's just a lot more pressure on it. White has a lot less wiggle room, and if white gives it up, say a sequence like this, this stone is already pretty much, I won't say useless because it's still useful, but it's been injured very severely by having this stone here, right? This wall is much harder to attack. When black has a stone 1 space over, this wall becomes a lot easier to actually mess around with later on. So that's one of the reasons why we don't often see this move. However, when black is basically saying, hey, I just want this, this can be very appropriate. Black saying, hey, I'm going to continue to invest moves down here. And, I think there's a couple things that white can do here. I chose to make this a double approach. I really don't know if this is the best move. I'm not sure if anybody knows if this is the best move. I tend to think it's not in this case. This would be a pretty typical, let's play this variation out again, typical or expected result. And black really, at some point, feels compelled to make this type of exchange, give up a little bit more territory to white, just in order to help grow this area, because, again, the stone's further away. And in retrospect, this would have been a fine game, I think with this type of development, black sort of feels like he's getting what he wants, but white's not unhappy either. This is still very reducible. So, in retrospect, I, would feel not at all poorly about playing that way. But in the game, I want to come up with something a little bit more interesting. So we tried this high approach. And from here, there's not a lot of choices, for at least the next few moves. I guess there's things black can do. Otherwise, black can... That's really not as good, though. Yeah, this is pretty much how it's going to go. Not a lot of options here. And then dive in the corner. Because this stone's here, usually we don't want to play this type of variation for white. Well, actually, it's maybe possible. Actually, I don't like kicking that. Normally we want to come out here, but then this has problems. So, okay, that's a quasi-Joseki, but not in this case, with this pincer stone. So you just take the corner, and black is happy to quash some of the dreams of these 2 stones. White's happy to continue the corner. Black perfects the shape. Now, again, black kind of got what black wanted. White also, you could argue if you looked at this other variation I played out earlier, or sorry, this one, right? In this case, white gets the corner and a bunch of territory, and black builds a wall and some thickness. If we compare that to this, whoops, not that move, this type of result, it's very similar. The difference, of course, is that this stone is actually a little more optimistic, but leaves a bigger weakness. And also this black wall is moved a little bit further to the right. And maybe, maybe in this case, because black played further away, this is actually better for black because it's a better spacing between this formation and this stone. So even though white got a little bit more in the corner, black got a better shape here. I think this is a good result for black because of this spacing. So yeah. All right, the next move is a mistake, and it's not a huge mistake. It's a small mistake, and white played here. And the problem with this move, and I can tell you why I play it in the game. The reason why I play it in the game is with this stone here. I felt like if black were now to come on the left side, black's gonna have a lot of momentum. Again, to take advantage of this weakness. Again, playing on this side is a very big move. But normally, if you're going to play on this side again, the Joseki move's actually here. But I didn't like that spacing with this stone. These two stones are a little bit too far away, so I tried to stretch a little bit and bring it there. I'll even mark this point. But I think this is something, and I'll say from this point, for quite a few moves, actually, I think it's probably the next, maybe at least 30 moves. I'll try to point it out later on in the video. The moves that Feng Yun pointed out as mistakes and what they should have been were almost the exact same moves that the robot, this is the Leela on the server that was running at probably about a 7 Dan, maybe 8 Dan level. They were identical. What I'm saying is, like, the pro and the robot agreed completely as far as what the player should be doing. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I mean, I'm still skeptical that robots are good at this game somehow, right? That seems really hard for me to believe. And yet somehow we have a 9 Dan pro and a robot basically spitting out the same exact preferences. So we can read in with that what they want. But anyway, my point is, in this situation at least, both the robot and the professional agreed on what the next move should be. And basically, instead of white continuing to play on this side, both of them wanted to come back here and play this point instead. And both of them believe this is the biggest point. And it makes sense. I mean, this is not terribly unintuitive. We can see that, this corner's basically settled. This corner is settled. This stone is just by itself. There's no extension either side. So this corner is not that important. But this corner is a 3-4. And 3-4 corners can be made directly into territory as well as influence. And the next most natural way for black to actually grow is actually on the right-hand side of the board. Because if you see, like, this bottom area, black has a wall and a corner, and now black wants to expand both of these things as far across the board as possible, both these areas of influence. And usually you don't want to play the center first, usually you favor the sides. So you look at this as being like you just picture like a giant black wall here. When you see a wall of anything, you want to plan the, intersecting pair or perpendicular kind of orientation to it. That's a really big direction to play. So of course we come all the way over here, and this is where your eye should naturally be drawn. So when white plays this, locally it's not quite the right shape. It doesn't actually fix all the defects in here. I'll just give you an idea of what I'm talking about. For instance, black and Hane. And this is maybe perhaps a little bit of an overplay right now. We can get into some variations like this, which are a little bit hairy. If white cuts directly, we can have a similar kind of situation. Again, very difficult, or can be very difficult. But we also, because again this is one space too far away, black can actually just come directly in here, and that really exposes this cut. White really just has to play here in response to this invasion. So this stone, one space too away, you can see how this invasion becomes much less doable when white has a stone here. White just covers, and black really has to work very hard in order to get something over here. Maybe something like this. But this Panuki is actually not worth the full, 30 points that the old adage says. Partially just because white gained 3 stones, captured 3 stones, got a really strong wall on the outside. And how does this Panuki do something in this corner. It's too far away against the corner to really pincer it and attack it from it. And it's also, you know, if you extend from it, this is not a big enough area to care about. So something like this. This is as an example. So this is the first, you know, mistake, and it's not a huge mistake, like in the grand scheme of the other mistakes that are yet to be made in this game. But it's big enough to already put white at a disadvantage. Just this one stone space difference. Yeah. Still sad about this. Oh, I'm also missing T. I definitely want T. Hold on, I'm gonna get T. Ah, that's better. Whew. Today we're drinking a red tea, rooibos. It's called red tea, but it's, you know, an African, technically tisane, technically it's actually not tea. But it's not caffeinated, which is good, because it's actually, it's not that late. I guess it's not that late. It's only early evening. But it's really nice just to bring it down here and drink it with you guys, because upstairs is a very cranky, teething baby. So we're going to hide out down here and play some Go. Okay. All right. So anyway, we have our tea. Where are we? Right. We were going to play a move here, and we didn't, because we're failures at the game. Right. And black gets to play here first, of course. So at this point, black is ahead, like, believe it or not, just like a tiny, tiny bit. Depends on how you want to think about the game. But, you know, if we look at this black formation, even though, yes, so white can come in here and do things like this, or like this, and yes, there's a little bit of Aji in these two stones, this area, even though it's smaller than the left-hand side, white has marked, actually has fewer defects. It's actually harder for white to come in here than it is for black to come in here. You can see just, again, there's an obvious defect right here at this point. But there's also, you know, a nice reduction point here. We can still approach over here. We can actually still approach here or here to get into the left-hand side. So, and then, of course, the top right-hand corner basically cancels out. It is white's move, though. So white plays here. Now, I think the robot actually liked this move slightly more, but not like a huge enough, you know, amount more. To really say this, you know, attaching is definitely a mistake. I'm not 100% sure why it liked more, though. This is still, maybe I should have too much into it. But some sort of variation like this would be expected. I guess white would play here. Black has a ladder, but let's assume black doesn't play it. So here would be kind of the standard variation. I mean, the reason why I don't like this kind of result, for white that is that even though it reduces the black bottom from expanding, there's still moves. I guess white, I'm not even sure if white should play that far. I mean, it's not like white's going to make a lot of points here. And black still has the opportunity. You know, it's really hard to know how far to play away from this in this formation. I bet somebody stronger knows the exact point without thinking about it too much. I guess my instinct would be there, but it still feels like this is, we didn't do a lot, and we gave up our whole corner in the process. Maybe we play the ladder variation, or maybe, well, black would have to play the ladder variation. This is the ladder variation that, you know, again, black has right now. So black could play this way, although the Aji is really bad, so I wouldn't. This is the continuation of the ladder variation. I think it's there. Or is it just fix? I think it's here. No, that ends the ladder. I haven't played this in a long time. Anyway, there's 20 moves of the ladder variation. Alright, anyway, enough of that, sorry. Yeah, anyway, slight minus, not sure why it'd be better. But perhaps actually the reason why, you know, pincering or doing something like that would be more appropriate and building some small position on the right is because black in the game should play the avalanche. You know, large or small, doesn't really matter. This would be a better direction for black. And black is actually kind of okay with, I think, any of the variations here. I'm not sure which one is best. I think they're all playable for sure. Even if black just takes, you know, sort of the, I'll say the stupid variation, where you just sort of make this really stupid looking kind of shape. And it's stupid just because, again, there's a lot of defects. Doesn't really have definite eyes or anything. You can see how it actually expands the bottom quite nicely, although white will fight. It's in the right direction that black wants. So even if you play like the really stupid variation and don't do any of the actual avalanche variations, or for that matter, the large avalanche variations with this one, it's still the right direction for black to play this. My opponent, I don't know if he was as scared of doing the avalanche or what, but he just played here. Kind of the wrong direction. But at least he had a plan. Like, the thing is, he had a very clear plan with what he was doing here. I mean, not very clear, but I mean, here, you'll just see. The next couple, this move's pretty forced. And then, of course, black isn't going to connect here without asking, you know, what type of connection he should make first. And normally in this position, usually black wants to approach on this side. Of course, that's very unattractive because, again, I played this stone here. This still might be doable if white had played here. So because of that, he asks on this side. And both of these, like, are seen very commonly in modern play. Statistically speaking, I think this one is slightly more common, asking. And the reason why you play this one is if white backs off, you know, as black, you want this type of shape. If white doesn't back off or does something else, I don't know, here, let's just say white does something, you might end up wanting this shape instead. And so it just sort of depends on white's response. This is like a classic timing, not really, it's I guess it's a quasi-probe. But again, it's not really appropriate here because white has a stone here already, so instead black asks this way, hey, what kind of shape can I make? And ideally, right, black would like, or, you know, perhaps even expect white to just back off, connect. If white continues to play this side, black can make this very nice, beautiful shape at the top. And this would be very ideal for black. And if you say, hey, but white's going to pincer here, well, then we have this type of situation where black gets very impressive thickness towards the center, and actually can keep developing this huge Bermuda Triangle area. So that would be unattractive for white. So anyway, in the game, I think both Nindon, Robot, and myself, we all agree, play here. And, oops, hit the microphone. Don't hit the microphone. This does a bunch of things. Number one, it plays in the area that black really wants to play in, a move before black can even play in it. So it's the direction that black really wants to go in, and you're getting to it first. Second, it's not so close to this thing so that if black gets strong here, and you don't need to help this stone, right? You don't need to help this stone and let this happen to you. It's far enough away that white can play in this corner and can respond over here, and then, you know, where does black go? It's not so close to this stone that black will just eat the corner and just give this one up, right? You're threatening to take a little bit more. It's just a really nice point. It's not like black can do anything really efficient when you have a stone here, and make all these stones work together. So at this point, there's a little bit of a struggle in the game. You know, how does black manage this top half of the board? That's really white's neighborhood. Black connected, and so we make this exchange. And I'm not even sure. I don't know. I actually didn't look at that black move too carefully. It still feels like this is right. This is better shape at this point, because at least if you play this connection, you can make an extension and have it not be stupid, really stupid looking. If you play this one now, like, you want to play this shape when white's either like closer to you or further away. Like, I know that's kind of a weird thing to say. Right, but this shape wants to put a black stone at J17, but since white already has J16, black doesn't want to put a stone there. So we don't want to make a shape that's going to want you to put a stone there. So we'll make this shape that kind of wants a stone more in like this area, a little bit further away from the white stone. And now black double pincers and says, okay, I make this exchange. Maybe I can get stronger here, and we can counterattack. We're just trying to keep flexible, keep our options open. All right, now like I said, like this move, yeah, black could play here. Although, actually, in this case, I guess white blocks this way. Yeah, I think this would be fine for white. I don't think black can play this. So I think white actually blocks that way. Sorry, I was looking at this move earlier. Going this way is not very attractive for white, if anyone was wondering. First of all, this shape for black is very good when white has a stone here, because now this stone isn't useful. It's not connected to the wall. White has to work very hard to make the stone part of the wall. And meanwhile, this white wall is facing the black wall, and it feels like we'd have to play another stone over here. But black will just basically dodge out and then invade all this later. And so black's the one who got real profit. Anyway, here. And then, but this move is the white mistake. Yeah. And this next move for white is it's an instinct I don't have and I need to have it. White should play at the A point. White should be the one who actually plays here. And the reason why white can play here is basically that white has help on both sides. And if you have help on both sides, all you really have to do is keep black stone separated and unable to make a base. And if you can do that while also sort of helping even perhaps create some eye space for you, you're going to be fine. Black can, of course, try something like this. But it gets really hard for black to manage both this side and this side. I mean, we can try things like this. But white can live in the corner just fine. There's actually still some problems here for these 3 black stones. And you can clearly see these 3 black stones don't have any eye space or shape yet. They have to start playing moves like this, and we'll just get continually harassed while white just takes over the entire middle, or comes back and punishes, this side of the board. So it's real difficult for black to manage both sides, and white already has extensions on both sides. And that's why you just play here. In the game, I played here. So this is a moment where we actually just need to take a sip of tea and be real sad. And both Feng Yun, the 9-Dan Pro, and the robot kind of yelled at me for playing this. The robot said, what does it say in its little spit out? It says, like, big mistake or something. Yeah, and it'll tell you, like, how many percent chance it thinks you lost to win the game. And I don't remember the exact number, but it was if you look at like the numbers, like it says, okay, white takes a move and goes up this percent chance, or makes a bad move and goes down this percent chance. It's calculating its winning percentage for every move. And basically, with every move in the game so far, that percent change, really hasn't gone more than like 1% either direction. Maybe it's gone like 1% and then 1% again, so maybe it's gone up to like 2% of a winning advantage, according to the robot. This was, I think, the really first move that it lost, a few, it's still like single-digit, percentage points, but it's like a very noticeable, like, single-digit percentage change. And said, whoa, hey, opportunity missed. Because I think if white plays here, I think this is actually winning for white. And if white doesn't, this is actually slightly winning for black. Like, it's a pretty significant swing in the favor of black. So huge missed opportunity, and I think psychologically this is the type of thing. It's the type of mistake that's really easy to make, especially when you and your opponent already played out a similar Joseki down here, and so you're already primed to think about this type of variation again. So when your opponent double pincers you, your brain already goes to this, rather than me thinking through this and going, oh, there's a completely different situation. I have help on both sides. I just need to dig in, keep black separated, and fight. So, it hurts. The pain. Yeah. So the problem with this variation, as you can see, black plays a standard variation, very similar to the double pincer down here with the low and the high stone. Very similar. And we And here, right, so this is black makes a base here. White, we get a wall sort of facing our development side, except this is nowhere near as good as black's wall facing his development side, because, number one, black already has these 2 stones here. And furthermore, still has this point here as a pretty clean invasion point. So, this variation, not only is it not the best variation where we should have fought, it's not even as good as the time black did it because of these other things that have already been decided, right? We've already decided there's going to be a weak point here. We've already decided black has 2 stones here that prevent this moyo, right? Let's draw this whole area. Maybe not that big. Like this thing. Why can't I click fast enough? There, not that point. See this moyo area? This can't really grow. Or has a really hard time growing because of these 2 stones. It's not like it can just shoot up into the center of the board. So we're real sad. We are real sad. I play here, and this is a slight minus mistake. Again, I was just playing the same. You can see the exact same shape down here. Again, maybe a little bit hypnotized. But in this case, again, white should play a slightly more aggressive move. And even though this leaves a lot more Aji with these 3 black stones, it's really hard for black to use it right now. Black has to work very, very hard to use it. And second, it actually this stone injures the corner greatly. And it sort of brings this J16 stone back into prominence again. Makes it a very important stone that's really dividing a weak black group over here and a weakish black group over here. So it, a move like this move, yeah, it leaves more weaknesses over here, but man, does it make this stone more important and stronger. If this base can be undercut, that means, black will have to run or take a Gote move to make some eye space. And he has to do that again because of that threat of this stone. So, so many regrets in how this turned out. This was just... I'm going to go back to drinking tea again. Oh. We were just living in Q-land for this whole variation. All right, so black played here. And, it's not a bad move. Like, it's not... was it a bad move? Actually, the robot and Feng Yun actually didn't think it was a great move. Feng Yun thought it was a bad move. The robot was like, it's not the best move, but it's okay. Not game losing. The reason why the 9-Don Pro really disliked it is, again, it killed this move off, or at least weakened the potential. And so even though the robot was more tolerant of it, Feng Yun was just saying, hey, if you just play this, you could play this move here, or even crawl again, just whoops, depending what kind of Aji and liberties you wanted to have. Like, even if you get this kind of result for white, you should feel gracious to your opponent. That, look, you had a big defect here, and now your opponent has completely fixed it for you. What did black get? Well, black kind of got an extension from his wall. But if he really wants this to be effective, it's very hard to do this in Sente. You could say, well, I'm going to leave that move out, and I'm going to come over here. And so maybe white, plays a move first or something, and then comes back here. And look, these 3 black stones are sort of going to get eaten. So we really didn't build anything unless you went in Gote. And if you went in Gote, then white, does his reduction. We got points. We got reduction point. We have a little bit of Aji here. We can start with this Suke. We could probably even start with this kind of Suke. There's lots of things we could do here. Might even play just something very, very light. Something like this. The black can't really attack directly. Black just sort of has to, maybe even just back off. And then we can ask and say, hey, can we have your corner? Black says, yeah, I don't want you to come in over here anymore. And you just say, okay, I'm just going to eat your corner. Boom, we hit the corner. We've reduced all this. Very nice. Very beautiful go. So, anyway, Feng Yun was very excited for me when she saw this. She's like, oh, look, you're going to have a good game. He's going to fix all your problems. You can go back to doing, like, things over here. But that's not really how I play Go. Instead, I played here. And she really didn't like this move. But she thought it was interesting. And the idea, of course, is very simple. Look, black came within my sphere of influence. Let's just prevent it from linking up. The problem, of course, is that number one, this doesn't really kill. You can't. It's very hard to kill this move from this stone alone. There's still this Aji here. When black comes down, now all of a sudden black gets a bunch of forcing moves in this area. Perhaps even brings these two stones back to life. Threatens to make eye space. Threatens to cut. Threatens to come out. Black's just in a really powerful position with these two stones. As you can see, if you're looking at the variation down here, black actually did not play here yet. The robot didn't hate the move as much. And in fact, the robot liked this move as one of its favorite moves. So instead of playing here, the robot kind of wanted to play here. And I think this is the first point where or at least the first area where the robot and the pro didn't really agree. Like, they actually had kind of differing opinions about what's important here. Where, again, the pro didn't think this was, splitting this from this was important at all. Because, again, she was looking at this result and going, look, if black wants this, he can have it. But it's not very good. Furthermore, you don't have to play there. Black could even play here. This depends, again, what kind of Aji you want. Maybe black plays here now. And, there's still moves like this later, and there's all sorts of stuff. And then you just reduce. So, yeah, this is where we get sort of the first disagreement. What move are we at? We're move, I guess, 34 or so. Although the robot and the pro are actually going to get aligned again pretty soon. They disagreed a little bit about this point, which is interesting. And, it's actually hard to know who to trust in this case because, when Feng Yun is looking at it, she's not doing, like, really in-depth reading. She's reviewing, from her viewpoint, a low-level Don game, or mid-level Don game. And so, she's really just looking for the big mistakes and she's not going to spend, 20 minutes reading out all these variations and saying, okay, this stone actually, is the exact stone you need in order to kill this, right? Or is the exact stone you need in order to, use this Aji or something, right? She's doing a lot of calculations and they're very quickly being done, very impressively being done. She's not doing as thorough of analysis, whereas the robot, even though it's not as strong as the pro player, to its abilities, is actually doing a much more thorough analysis. So they're interesting ways to get to the similar or different conclusions. Black takes this time to jump out, and both the robot and Feng Yun were like, meh about this. Like, this is not. And White jumps out too, of course. Again, both of them just didn't like this continuation. Yes, okay, and then black finally comes back and plays here. The jump out, if you're going to do this, though, this jumping out might be a bad exchange. Because let's say white ends up just letting black live down here, then this stone was actually probably good for white. Maybe small mistake there. All right, here I had my... I forgot about this move. So here's what was going on. So, I was drinking my tea and thinking, okay, I've got this weakness over here. I might have to get up the corner. And because of that, I need to make sure I can, prevent this thing from living and attack it, really hard. Just, go after it. And I didn't really know how to defend this stone. And I'll show you the move that Feng Yun wanted to play, and I think her shape is just not on my radar. You can do things like this. You can say, okay, I'm just going to kill off this Aji, but that doesn't feel nice, right? Black still just Hanes here and starts to make eye space. I'll see what's another option. If you play here, this is terrible shape. Black just plays here, and all of a sudden these two white stones are short of liberties. Backing up seems nice. It helps kill the Aji, it keeps things connected. But doesn't really put any pressure on this part of the board, right? Black still will probably likely be able to at least make one eye down here. Maybe find the second eye over here. Maybe make two eyes down here, just depending on how this Aji works with this cut. And so the move I came up with was this one, that both, you know, connects this stone with this group, making both of them stronger, and it also, you know, if black tries to make eyes down here or something, we still have moves like this as a follow-up to threaten to cut it off while removing the eye space. So I was really happy with my move in the game. Feng Yun hated it. She wanted white to play here. And she thought this was much better shape for both taking territory, preventing this Aji, and helping this stone. And this shape, man, it looks bad to me. Like, it's just, I have a really hard time playing this shape. Again, you see these two stones here, this iron pillar, these two diagonal stones. You want to have the iron pillar. That's the better shape in this case, locally. So I don't really want to make this iron pillar facing two stones if I don't have to. But she assured me that was the right shape. I'm still skeptical. I'm still not sure if I'll be able to, like, see this in a real game. Oops. That's the shape move. I mean, I think she kind of laughed when she saw this. Just because, again, if you play here, the immediate refutation is black's just going to lean here and start to, you know, maybe get some free moves over here while making some sort of shape, and then decide how to deal with this cut, or how much to pursue this cut. All right, in the game, black played here. And the really interesting thing about this is that both the robot and Feng Yun thought this was actually a really big mistake for black to make this exchange right now. Because you're giving white an opportunity to actually fix this weakness, like in tempo. However, the weird thing is, even though both of them hated this for black, after white just fixes, the robot didn't like the position that much for white either. Like, it's still like it didn't really swing the game at all, I guess is what I'm trying to say, according to its little, like, win-loss percentage calculator. Even though this is a bad exchange, the robot was like, meh, still good for black, you know, overall. So I found that kind of interesting. They both didn't like this move, thought this was a mistake of sorts, but when white responded, the robot was like, okay. But Feng Yun was happy for white here. You know, she thought this was helping white a little bit too much in tempo. Alright, so we continue. Black jumps out again. Nobody liked this move. Everyone thought this move was bad. Basically, you should come back and just make shape this way. There's no reason to keep this running fight. Like, this is just not accomplishing anything. If black thinks he's going to be able to capture this white stick, that's a very difficult task. Like, really difficult. And when white jumps out, I mean, black's kind of injuring himself. Or, himself in this case. Because white now has a little bit of influence to really break this up, this Moyo up on a pretty large scale. So again, black just coming here, still a big move, just making the shape. Stop running. Black keeps running. And so all these are slight minuses for black. So even though black was up, we'll say a sizable win percentage, at this point, white is being helped. White is being helped between this move and these jumps. White's gaining a little bit of momentum. So again, white's going to use this a little bit just to lean and make shape. And then the next move for white, I still like. Like, it's these moves that are the most difficult for me to learn. Even though, like, the robot and Feng Yun didn't like it, I still liked it. Because and I think the real reason why I like it is because I fundamentally still don't understand this move. And it's such a book move. This is a move even a lot of Q players would play here. If you're a Q player and you wouldn't play it here, that's okay. This is because you haven't seen enough. But it's a really book move in this type of situation. And that's to probe here now. And I can tell you my reasoning for the probe, which apparently is just flat out wrong, or at least not good. And it's that I want to know, basically how much do I want to care about these two stones? When I'm connecting them to the rest of this group, how much should I care about them? Because if black's just going to back off here, there's a pretty good chance that I could actually just make a base or something over here. After I play this, it's like white sort of has to play here, Maybe we have some sort of fight, and they can make shape for themselves. If black, of course, plays this way, you know, let's say we do this variation. You know, I don't have to connect them at all. Like, they're just really strong. This is not a good variation for black in this case. Black does get a very solidified corner though. But this area was already reduced, so it's not like these were even black's points anyway. So maybe this is even acceptable. In the game, black played here and just said, "Hey, take the corner." And you know, it's really hard for me to think this is a bad exchange for white, because later on, if I play this, you know, black really is either going to play one of these variations where he just gets the corner. And I guess maybe the reason why I'm overvaluing it is because in the game I actually did get the corner, and I guess it's really only a 50-50 shot of whether or not I get the corner. Because if I don't take it right now, black could finish this off too and take the corner back. So it's I'm giving myself a 50-50 shot to get black's corner. I don't know. This probe, you know, I always feel like I play it correctly. Like, I feel like I'm doing something with it. And not only doing something, like, I feel like I'm asking like a really important question. Like, hey, are these stones reduction stones, or are they going to be part of a base, or can I even just throw them away? Like, how should I treat these? And you know, black's really hard to answer. Like, black, you know, doesn't want to do this, because that means, oh, I never really have to connect them. I'm going to get too much strength here that they can just live on their own. Like, I don't have to go back. If black, on the other hand, says, no, this I'm going to kill all this off. I'm going to take the outside. I'll say, great, you know, maybe I'll fix this weakness now. Later on, I'll also get the corner. White will get everything. It's so hard for me to not see the logic there. And yet nobody likes my move. So, I mean, in this case, I came back and I fixed. Interesting move by the robot. The robot actually wanted me to continue here again, which blew my mind because it didn't really like my probe move. And it's saying, basically, play a second probe move, right? Make the probe even bigger. Because now if white backs off, or black backs off, now when white lives in the corner, it's even bigger, right? This was, you know, this is usually a bad exchange. I end up pushing from behind the second line. That's usually bad. But yeah, wanted me to make this exchange right now. And of course, if black plays this way, then we're just happy to just, again, start making a base here. And if black really insists on me not getting a base, hey, that's fine too. You know what? I can just reduce from the outside, and I already have these stones exchanged, which are nice exchanges if you're reducing from the outside. So anyway, weird little quirk here. All right. So after this, you know, the white stick isn't really easy to attack. Although, yeah, I think the robot wanted to play here immediately, right? Is that what I marked? Yeah. The robot actually really wanted to do this. And, you know, in the game, I thought, you know, black's never going to do this because, look, it's actually going to help white's shape. Or you know, you have some variation like this, where, you know, white eats the stone for free. You know, maybe, I don't even, what's a good variation here? Something like this. Or maybe, can you maybe take this Aji first? No, because you want this, there's this stone. Does this work? Well, maybe. All right, I didn't consider this move. Oh, this isn't a move though, right? Like, this is... Yeah, like, this is still not a move. Yeah, like that. I don't understand. Another move I don't understand that the robot wanted to make this, and this is... It just feels like white has too many ways to handle this. Oh, wait, maybe there's some prep peep here, cut thing that... No, I don't know. All right. Anyway, it's a very small difference, so it's not like this move wins black the game immediately. It just said, hey, this is the top move candidate, and like this was like number 2. Black came back over here to make a base over here. So at this point, if we just look at the score of this game, We can kind of see, if we look at this group, and we look at black's group's worth a little bit more. If we look at this corner versus this corner, white's worth a little bit more, right? So we're just canceling this for this, and then this for this. We look at this corner is basically worth almost nothing for white, very, very small. This corner is worth a slight plus for black. I know it's 50-50 either person, but in the cases where white does take it, black does get outside compensation, so that's a slight plus for black, so this is worth probably slightly more than this. And so really the game, if black's already slightly ahead here, and black has this, that's a winning position for black. Now I could say, well, hey, maybe white can attack the stick. And if white has an attack on the stick, let's say white has like one more move here, then all of a sudden I don't think that's true anymore. Like the attack and the ways to poke the stick will be worth more than the little bit of advantages these other areas that black has accumulated. But I think if we just make all those comparisons, you can see that black has accumulated a small advantage at this point. Small but definite. All right, so here, this is a point actually, and I should say with that one exception about this direction down here with the white coming out on this black stone. I think this is the first point where Feng Yun and the robot actually had a real disagreement, and both of them didn't like what I did. But I'll show you the robot's move first. The robot wanted to play here, and again, just basically keep this small and separated. I think this is really reasonable. It's a super reasonable move. It's not exciting though. Like it doesn't. Well, I don't. It's playing a really long game. Like it's not setting up anything immediate. It's being a really patient. Let's just keep all of our stone strong. Let's keep all of our opponents as small as possible. That's the move the robot liked. Feng Yun liked this move. And this is the move I'm aiming at. Like, this is the shape point that I want to play. And everything I do actually in the next few moves that you're going to see is I'm trying to aim at this. Actually, it's not even a few moves. We're almost there. But this move, if you haven't seen this type of shape before, is really aiming at this move. And if you've seen this before, you of course know black can't block this way. Well, I guess he can, but it's, I guess, yeah, you can totally block that way. Really? That's all it is. Yeah, I guess you can do this, but that's not that much better. Oh, maybe slightly better. Yeah, maybe slightly better. But you can see how annoying this is for black, and black doesn't really have two eyes yet, kind of thing. You can see the alternative: if black connects here, white can actually get out and connect back to this stone. So that's what's going on here. That's what I really want to aim at. Feng Yun just wants to play this directly. I try to make a mess first to be able to play a move like this sort of in tempo. And so I play here. And this move, so in the game, my opponent played here. Feng Yun, and actually we saw a similar thing in my previous game, where my opponent should just make like this over-concentrated base that actually has some shape to it, rather than do this complicated thing. But in doing this complicated thing, there's also a variation that Feng Yun didn't see, or at least didn't tell me about. Because in the game my opponent played here, but in this variation the robot says to play here. And this was kind of a mind-blowing move. I'm like, wait, what are you doing, robot? Because after white extends, you can see how the stone is just dead. Like maybe it's not super dead, but like, what do you can't really like. Oh, maybe, wait, what? Does this just work? No, sorry, you play here, yeah. This one, that's, and you just kill this, right? Or if black comes out, then you attack this. There just doesn't look like it's a good response for black, except black will play here. And when white takes this double Atari, white extends here. or black extends here. And white takes, and then black just comes on top. If you don't, yeah, if white plays this side, black has this move, which is cool, right? Black can't actually connect. So it feels like white would have to play here. Black could still make this exchange, and then actually save these two, and then sort of fight over here. I guess I'm reading some of these variations myself. These aren't all from the robot. But something like this, where black, you know, is weak, but as long as white is weak too, black can basically be okay. So that was really cool, like this, because it's not at all what happened in the game. And I think the other reason why black plays this is for the very same reason. It doesn't let white get this point. You know, because when is white going to play here? Of course, if black goes this way, and white plays this way, black gets this point, right? There's like, now there's no Aji here. Black has fixed the corner shape. Yeah, so this very, very just cut and crude Atari, it doesn't give white the momentum to start anything over here. Of course, when white plays this way, oh, this is glorious. This gives me all kinds of momentum to get all the points I want. Because look, I got to play this Hane, threatening to kill off 2 stones, at that very point that threatened this little throw-in peep thing. Isn't that cool? And meanwhile, this stone, this L17 stone, is actually really hard for black to deal with. All right, so black... oh yeah, I was marking something in the game. Oh yeah, Feng Yun actually thought that this move is even better. Because it still aims at this point. In fact, it aims at this point so hard that black has to play it immediately. But in this case, white is totally fine with that, because look at the attack we're going to have on this 3 stones. We're going to separate these 3 stones from anything, and white will just dictate the next 20 moves because of this. So she liked this idea of just coming down here. And I mean, I briefly thought about it, but I was also more strongly considering moves like this, and I couldn't quite convince myself that like this type of thing was good. Like a move that both threatens to come out and connect is really what I was looking at. This one doesn't really threaten to connect, is the problem with it. It threatens this in a very direct way, but it also just comes out. Like it still threatens 2 things. I guess that's all you really need to threaten. I guess I was trying to threaten 3 things, like connect, come out, and Hane. But the Hane isn't like a really big threat, so it's like 2.5 things. Yeah. Anyway, in game, black played here, which is good at this point. White came here, black came here, and oh man, the robot, and Feng Yun didn't see this one, or at least didn't point it out to me. Robot found a really genius idea here, and oh, it's I need to think this way more, and I need to take a sip of tea first, while you all ponder what the robot came up with. That I think this is genius. Actually, it's more likely that Qs find this move than a non-player. First, I'll show you what happened in the game. Is I took this out as soon as I got the stone here, and basically I have Aji, right? I can play H18 in Sente, or I could even just Atari and then play H18 Sente if I need to be like Super Sente. So I just immediately threw in here, and the robot, and actually, I mean, like this is fine. It's like okay, but the robot wanted to play here. And this move is so hard for me to find. Like, I know all you Q players are like, well, no, it's not hard to find. Look, you have 2 stones, just get them out. Yeah, but look at like what happens now with these 3 stones. Like, look at how surrounded they are by black stones. And it's not like you can really, cut here. Black just descends. Like, where's your cut? You don't have. Well, you do have a cut. Oh, because that Hane. Huh. Alright. So that's cool. Alright, I guess this actually is really powerful. What if black plays here? Oh, okay, yeah. So this is how black should respond, because white can't play here. But because of that Aji, white can push up here again, and now this cut becomes a big deal again. Well, so the other nice thing about it is, let's say black, uses all of his resources to like save these 2 stones, or even just let's see, white pushes up, black pushes up. Do we have enough to just come here? No, we can't play that yet. We have to push up again. Yeah, this is dicey. So we just want to aim at this. If we can aim at this, and again, if black comes here, we just play here. Yeah, that's dicey. That's black can't. This is double Atari, so we have to fix this side. Keep those 4 disconnected. And meanwhile, look at this group of 5 stones. Like, black still needs to add moves over here. So we exchange 2 for 4. Oof. In the game, I just thought, this is unreasonable. I'm taking my 2 weakest stones here, and I meant to throw these away. Like, this was a throwaway stone. I just wanted H17, and I was going to be happy. And that's what I got, so I was happy. So I really didn't look at like this kind of thing seriously enough. If black fixes, we just come out again. I think we just come out again. I don't think we want to do this kind of thing, because we don't own a ladder yet. Although if we had a ladder, if we were actually maybe this peep. Oh, maybe that was that. Did the robot say that? I forgot. Maybe that was it. Maybe at some point. I can't remember, at some point in the variation, it had white just play a stone here. Which would be crazy, right? To set up this ladder. Actually, that's too early. You need to do it a couple moves later. All right, but this is the idea. The idea, and the one that I missed, is that these 2 stones are actually completely savable. And I just had a big blind spot. I was looking at all these black stones. I was already preoccupied with getting this so I could poke here. And this is where all my attention was, right? It was like, all right, I'm finally going to do something in this game, because I'm a little bit behind in terms of all the territory. So this is when we're going to make our move. But because black had played just all these really submissive moves without really solving the problem, it actually led to a new opportunity. Ugh. All right. Anyway, over here, black stayed strong. I still have a good opportunity to do it. Like, this is still good timing. I took this point. Again, this is just free, and it helps this stone, and all of a sudden I have a black stick that's behind all my white stones. So I was excited. I was like, hey, look at this. I'm having a good game. Black's going to have to come back here. I'm going to be able to get this stone out. Like so. And bam. All of a sudden, I've got an attack on 4 black stones. Is there any variation here? Not really. Oh yeah, I said, actually, the game robot wanted black to play here. Which is interesting, because it actually gives white an opportunity to come back around to this kind of... Oh, maybe not, because there isn't this double Atari anymore. Huh. Well, okay. Anyway. This is the game. So I'm super excited. We've been using quite a bit of time to this point. Like, I think this is already over an hour into the game. I've been using a lot of time. So I'm actually already kind of running out of time. And I've still been drinking tea. And I've already gone up to use the bathroom probably twice by now. I also find that in addition to like tea just having to make you pee, or drinking a lot of it does certainly, like at these really serious tournaments, my body just likes to excrete everything. And so like during these long games, I have to like get up and use the bathroom at least twice, if not 3 times. And then I get like a nervous sweat thing going on. And yeah, it's just, my body hates me, I guess, in these types of situations. So yeah, this after this game, I didn't drink a lot of tea in the mornings before my other games. Let's just say that. I didn't want to fuel the fire. All right, so black next move, says, "Hey, I have a stick. I need to get it out." This is actually, I think, Feng Yun's move, because this is actually still really hard to kill back here. There's still a black Sente move here, and there's the potential for this cut. It's if we just do this, you can also see that it's really hard for black to actually take away 2 eyes in this case, like just really hard. So she thought, black should just make some exchanges first and see if he can just make 2 eyes. But he comes out. In this moment, I take the first of these peeps. And I actually end up getting all of them, but just the timing of them is all slightly different. And then I play this move. And this move is the move we got to talk about. Because this move is trying to do a lot of things. And in the end, it's not doing any of them. And you can probably already guess the things it's trying to do. Number one, most importantly, is trying to keep black hemmed in. And it almost does that. Like, it almost does it really well, in fact. Like really close to working. However, black should just play here immediately. Because, number one, what are we going to do? If we don't really want to block, right? Because that's kind of Sente. But if we can do that, black can Hane here, and then we have to fix again. And it kind of looks like, I don't know, looks like black has at least an eye there. Maybe black's just alive? Not quite. No, black's not alive. Oops, no. Oh, all right, black can play this move first, though. Oh, but that's not Sente. All right, maybe that's better. Maybe both the robot and Feng Yun said play here. Like, this is the shape point. Oh, no, maybe not yet. Was it yet? I can't remember if it was yet or not. Either way, no, what it was, these markings are here for is that both of them didn't like this move. Both of them wanted to have white play at one of the triangle points. And in the game, I didn't play the triangle points because in my head, this group of 4 stones is already connected to these 2 stones because, oh, but it's not connected. Right. Ha. Oh my god, right. Later on I get a stone here and I think they're connected. Yeah, this cut is not right. There's this problem here. Yeah. You take, oops, something like this. All right, anyway, black plays here instead. And yeah, okay, yep. So it was. Black should play here immediately. Just poke at the defect, get some shape, and then black can either come out or make eye space. All right, but in the game, black comes out. And this is a slight mistake, apparently, because it gives white a bunch of more free stuff. This was a mistake, however. Basically, I need to ask right now, and I didn't want to play this move because I thought later on there's like some shortage of liberties things here, but there's really not. So yeah, this is the good timing for this. Oh, drink tea. This is bad. Right. So after black plays here, I guess I can still play here. So I'm scared of this, right? But I don't really have to be. Or do I? Maybe I should be very scared. Yeah, I should be very scared. Yeah, I should be very scared. Never mind. That kind of works. Yeah, in the game I kept looking at this move, in fact, like at several opportunities here. And I kept saying to myself, oh, well, right now black will play here, and that actually weakens this group a lot. Like a lot. But even though maybe it just means I can't play here yet, or does it? No, that's crazy. All right, so I just can't play there yet, but I can still play here. Yeah, it's not like black still can't cut here because of this. Yeah, so this would be fine. I just didn't give myself enough strength here. I have 2 liberties. 2 liberties is all you need. All right, so I played there directly without making this exchange. Keep that in mind. There's going to be a lot of opportunities where I'm thinking about making this exchange, like this whole sequence. Black comes here again. And I take this peep, and this peep seems fine and is useful. And then we play here. And then black plays a bad move. And oh my god, now we have opportunity. Now some things are coming up. Nick Sibicky. Because black plays here. And is very concerned about playing this move and this cut. This cut is real hard, and both of us readings for one. I think we both kind of got it wrong. Because I think actually black's okay. There is this throw in here, and part of my fear, and also reason for not making this exchange, is also, I guess in this case it doesn't work because black just captures. Black connect. I kept thinking like I'd have to respond down here, but maybe that's actually not the case. And if it's not the case, let's see what happens if I just play there. Nothing happens, right? Like nothing happens. Like there's still this. Alright, so maybe, again, I wasn't giving myself enough strength over here. But I think the real problem is, even though I think white's strong enough on this side, I still think there's this problem here. And it's hard to know what to do here without being 9-Don Pro. We do this, and then this. We need this. We Atari. I mean, black's actually out. Or at least can capture that one stone right there. Yeah, so I guess if it goes like this, can black just make this Atari right now? Does that set the whole thing up? Like, is this a cool move? Really dangerous. Because again, if white connects, there's this Atari here. And if we play that, then black has this move. Oh, but this works. That works for white too. Alright, well, in the review with Feng Yun, she showed me why this cut doesn't actually work for white. And I didn't write it down other than just make this note here. I said black should play either here or here, like both of these are doable. But man, oh wait, but there's this thing? No, this isn't really a thing. Well, certainly if you take, maybe this now works. Clearly this doesn't work, right? Even that, it's still hard. So many false ice shapes. Oh, well, that's fine. Oh, there's also this. Right. Alright, so that doesn't work. Okay, sorry to do like reading in front of you all, or guess reading. Basically, 9-Don Pro just said, yeah, this one's bad, either of these work, and black can get out. But I haven't done all my homework, apparently. I missed going over this sequence. The reason why they work, though, if I recall, is, again, because of this move. Maybe there's another combination of moves, but this is still the important point that white doesn't have. So it all goes back to this shape needing to be here or here. Yep, just too ambitious. A 2-space extension from this stone and a 2-space extension from this stone. Too ambitious. All right. Anyway, black played here. So, all right, back to the real game. It's getting exciting. We take another peep, which I am granted. So, oh man, look at this black stick. Are you not excited to eat the whole thing? And then we play here. At this point, yeah, after black had accumulated a small advantage, that at times had gone up to like 60-40% win during various points. The robot says game's 50-50. Robot basically doesn't know what's going to happen here. And I felt very pleased with myself at this point. And I'm trying to find holes in my shape, and it's really hard. It's really hard to find the holes in black's shape and how black's gonna, or yeah, how the holes in white's shape. Because even if black lives here, if black has to really struggle, this huge black stick is in a little bit of potential trouble, especially after white caps. So it feels like right now white has all the momentum going in this game. Even though the robot says it's 50-50, we're feeling pretty good. All right, here we go. Start with the squirming. We play there. Everyone agrees this is the correct move, even though it looks really weird. And black has to do this type of cross-cut. Black makes this exchange, but instead, I decide to fix this cut by playing here. And this was a bad move, it turns out. Even though it looks, I'm thinking, hey, if I just eat these, I can eat these 2 stones, and all of a sudden this group has no eyes either. It has to work really hard to make eyes. But again, this exchange comes back to haunt me. I need to make this. What was I even like reading that I just take there, right? There's just nothing here for black. Oh man, I spent so much time like worrying about like little throw in, snap back sequences, connect, capturing race things. Oh man. Oh, and at this point, oh, I can't remember. Maybe, was it around here? I'm definitely in like my last half hour at this point of time. I have no idea where my opponent was. Yeah, again, he had way more time than I did. But again, maybe I'm scared of this exchange. So if it just goes like this, is the game over? I mean, black can kind of get these. And again, if you remember when white played here instead of here, you can see how much more useful this would be in terms of affecting the corner. Of course, this is safer and lets me play really aggressive because I have a stun at Atari. But still, maybe if we poke here, black can't actually get 2 eyes here, right, because of this. So that's only 1 eye. What else? All right, we have to look at this though. If we don't respond here, what if black connects first? Oh yeah, okay. Connect and Atari. All right, so that way works. So can't play there. If we connect here and take, well, here we don't even take that Atari if we just play this. Just a capturing race. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 4. No real way for black to gain more, it looks like. Did I just like completely miss the biggest opportunity of the game? Oh, maybe I was thinking this wasn't Sente. Is that it? Here, if I push through... No, because black would still need to come out here first. So what if black does this now? Yeah, go is hard. Go is hard. We just fix everything. And yeah, black takes, I take. And this, again, not an eye. This looks like black's getting stuff, but he's not. There's nothing here. This is all connected. If black pushes through, it doesn't make a difference there. Doesn't make a difference there. Oh, it doesn't. Nope, doesn't make a difference here because you can't Atari. But there's this. Oh wait, no, I have a Liberty. Yeah, I just play there. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is nothing. Oh man, I can't find it. I can't find anything for black. How bad should I be feeling right now? We're playing this move. Feels real bad. Feels real bad. Alright, so in the game, black played here. And Robot thought this move was terrible, I think. I think it says just take 2 stones, white wins the game. And even though black can live like this, white now has, you know, an attack on this whole group. And actually has almost secured some points over here. One more move, and it's like 15 points here, actually. Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Yeah, like 14-ish plus points. Especially if white gets this endgame. So let's turn into some territory. If we can actually attack this group, and we're safe here. Yeah, I mean, I still have this corner open. Man. In the game, what did I do? Yeah, I played this move. So this is also really bad. Again, I just take this stone and I just go after this now. How do I hit myself with the head with something that won't hurt too hard, but still leave a mark? Why? So bonehead. Actually, part of me playing this move was also like regretting having played this one. I was like, oh, if you eat these 2 stones, I can still just get in your corner and take away your eyes. That was the thinking. Oh yeah, here, this is a bad move. Just take. There's still nothing here. There's nothing here. Like, yeah, black can get some endgame, but it's small. So I should have just taken. This is so many bad moves in a row. So many bad moves. Yeah, how do we punish ourselves? Oh. I should take lessons from Mingju Zhang, and he has his students do push-ups. Like, after all these little mistakes that white made, white sort of bet everything on this attack to either kill it or profit. And you know what? It was going really well. Like fought back to put the game, and actually Leela points in here, had white up in the game. Like has white winning the game, not by a lot, but has a slight win percentage. But man, after this move, and not just taking these 2, I don't want to make you guys feel any worse than you already are, because you're probably bored at this point. Me just feeling bad for myself, because that's what I've been doing for the last 3 minutes, is feeling bad. I think that's what I need to do to learn here. But what am I learning? Why do I need to feel bad? I need to feel bad just because this was stupid. like this is not one of my problems. Yeah. But it's at this point, somewhere around here, is also starting the point where, like, I'm low enough on time where I don't really want to use the bathroom again. But I need to, because I just drank like a gallon of tea in the morning. And the other thing was, yeah, at various points here I convinced myself that black can't actually get 2 eyes, right? Black can't get 2 eyes. I won the game. The game's going to be over soon. So I don't need to like run to the restroom and relieve myself, because the game's going to be over soon. And that perhaps was my downfall. So he plays these exchanges. That's all fine. Like, it doesn't do anything for him, really. At least not yet, but later. And then he connects here. And so I play here, but this is another opportunity where I should just take these 2 stones off the board. And even here, actually black now has some opportunities. You can see the cut in the Hane, even perhaps this move. This one can't quite do it yet. But after prepping one of these things, there's actually some weaknesses in here. But as long as white stays strong, I can even let black get out as long as I counterattack this thing, right? And then we still have all the momentum. The problem was I just need to pee really bad in the game. I was like, okay, just stay strong, just keep him in, and you kill him. Just do that. And then here I misread, I misplay, misread and misplay. So I play this is driving to Suji, very common, right? Your opponent cuts you, drive them so you can take these moves in Sente. And of course, I think this is the big problem. All I need to do is really just connect here. And it's still actually hard. It actually got a lot more difficult. I kept black separated. It got a lot harder for white, though, because I never captured these two stones. So this group here actually got a lot weaker after I run this out. But in the game, I play here. And the thinking was that, hey, you know what? I don't even care about these anymore. I'm just going to kill a huge stick, and then I'll be able to end the game, and I'll be able to go to the bathroom. That was the plan. Isn't that just great? It turns out this move is also good for killing the stick, and probably better for killing the stick, because black's response here is to actually just push here. And you can see that white actually has a problem. It's not as big of a problem as I thought it was. But it's a problem nonetheless. Because if I play here, black can play here, and white actually needs to come back and connect. And now black's out, and like super out, and connected, and gonna kill all this, even though I was the one who was supposed to kill him. So that was bad, and instead I just connected here, which means that black just gets to connect the stick that I was attacking to the other group that I was attacking, and now the only thing I have left to attack is this 4-group stone that he just made. So this is a train wreck. Like, this is the disaster. And this is the part that I already felt really bad about for quite a while after I played this game. This other stuff I was just feeling bad about. This is more a recent revelation. Yeah, just play here and keep the two most important things you can kill, or possible for me to kill, separated. That's all I really need to do. Instead, when I play here, I end up letting the two things connect, well, here and here. And that means my only attack left is on these 4 stones. And again, remember, I'm still kind of down slightly on the board. So here, Robot said this was a mistake. What black is trying to do is trying to just avoid having to play this move. So it seems reasonable, but it gives white a few extra moves on the outside, so maybe that's why it's not. I think in the game, I'm not sure if black should take here, because taking here basically kills this off. But it does make this real dangerous. Yeah, I'm not sure if white can short liberties like this. Like, this is a really hard thing for white to cut. And so because of that, it's not at all clear to me that black has to connect. Black's going to try cutting first, rather than just playing the strong move. He's going to poke this and say, hey, do I need to connect here? I fixed there. Robot says I should play here. And basically just let this fend for itself, however it should later. And hopefully have that give me time to fix everything over here and prep this cut again. Something like this. Or maybe even just cut. Maybe just cut this better. I'm not sure if I'm quite strong enough. Yeah, I don't know. Again, this is not the part of the game I obsessed over for too much. But at this point, after white fixes this, black just fixes, again, this is Sente, so it's very similar. I played this way, and then I played this move, and this is a bad move. Again, I should just be here. Because this is a Sente Eye. Right, this threatens to kill 2 more stones. And I think if that's a Sente Eye... Oh, but that's kind of Sente. It's kind of Sente. Well, certainly, if I don't mind that happening, I'm alive up here. And I can... Just go back to playing the game. Yeah, oh man. Anyway, I played here. I was like, okay, gotta kill the stick. We're going back to killing this stick. We let the two other sticks connect, so it's all out. Game, I think the robot thought this was a really big mistake. Robot actually just says tick here. Just save this. You can actually let this tick die and black can still win the game. Kind of thing. White actually gets to fix his shape a little bit. Black's is struggling for shape. The whole time, this whole sequence, the robot's going, play here, or take, whoever takes the stones, just take the stones, just take the stones, just take the stones, like over and over and over again, is all the robot wants to do during this whole sequence. Everything else it does, it says we're doing crap. I throw in, take, and so even though, so it looks like whoever takes first, this is the point I want to share. Whoever takes first isn't going to get an eye out of it, right? Like, if white takes first, no eye. If black takes first, let's go back. And this is the part in the game, right? White throws in, no eye. This is the part of the game where I still don't think it's really hard for me to feel like taking first is important because it looks like the same result for both players. But there's a really big difference actually based on who takes first, and it's really hard for me to feel that way. Like whoever takes first is going to have no eye. But if I take first, it's not necessarily true that white needs to play again, right? Like white doesn't need to play here, even if white does. I'm not sure if black will play here or not. Let's assume that white takes first, doesn't need to play again. Now all of a sudden, all of white's stones are actually connected, and white can respond on the outside again, just by taking first. Even if you don't respond to the throw-in, like it's still good to take first. And if your opponent doesn't throw in, right, takes on the move on the outside, then you can actually threaten to make two eyes just right then and there. And so that's why taking first is so big. You can actually be the one who either threatens to make two eyes, or the one who's connected, and especially in my case, because I'm not actually connected, and get Sente. And yeah, I just kept seeing this as a symmetrical shape. It was like, no one gets anything, don't play over here. This is just like me. Like co-threats, basically. But it's not. And perhaps that was my last opportunity to actually do something in the game. Whoops. Take, throw in, Atari. And then black played this wedge. Robot did not like this. Robot just said black has enough to win, basically just capture it. This move just kills this. You can see if white insists that they're all alive, black has this cut right here. And there's no good way to get out. Like, it's just black's, there's no eye. White's just hemmed in. So in the game, again, I'm still just like needing to pee a bucket of water, basically. And don't see this move at all. Like, I know there's weakness here, but I just don't see this in this combination. Black's trying really hard. Black doesn't really see it yet. He's trying to make it work really hard for him. He makes this exchange. This is actually slightly interesting. So I responded this way, which technically works and keeps everything connected, although very, how do we say, just crudely. The game actually came up, or not the game, the robot came up with this move, which actually allows black to become, allows white to become disconnected, as you can see. But white is stronger on both sides, so it's actually probably better to allow yourself to become disconnected, which is really counterintuitive. And actually, once white gets strong, white can come back and play here and maybe start some sort of capturing race. So this was a really neat thing that the robot came up with. It's like, this is the move I came up with in the game, and it works, right? Like, black can't disconnect you. Black can get a whole ton of Aji. But in the end, it comes down to a 4 against 3 Liberty capturing race. And again, there's nothing here. Black can capture a stone, but everything is connected. Like, you just have enough liberties to do all this with this really terrible looking move here. That just leaves this cut really exposed. But yeah, the really cool robot move, whoops, is to play this one. Which, yeah, I would have never guessed or seen. Thinking of just allow yourself to become disconnected. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. Okay, anyway, black plays here, which is very similar to just black wedging. Similar idea. Black's is taking the profit now. At this point, I see, kind of the trouble I'm in. Except I fix it this way. I'm thinking, okay, I need to go all out and attack this, and I need to take away every liberty possible because reasons, and because maybe I'll have a chance to kill. It's a bad move. Can't play there. Can't play there at all. Need to find probably just that move. The downside to this move is it makes this Sente later. And that's actually helps black's eye space. Because right now, if I play this one, oops. I mean, black can play here, sure, but that doesn't gain eye space. Later on, I can play here and falsify this eye point. And if I play this one, I can still falsify that eye point by playing here. It doesn't matter if I play here or if I play here. You still play here to falsify this eye point. But the difference here is when I play here, black can, in Sente, get that eye point for himself. So that was kind of a big mistake that I kicked myself for almost immediately after I played it. Again, I'm increasingly on the clock here, and black just takes this profit, and here we go, we go all in. Robot thought I should play here. I read through a bunch of these variations on my own, and I think they all work just fine for black. Like, I don't think there's anything white can really do, because white has this huge shortage of liberty problem. If white just does something like this, there's this very simple capturing sequence here. So this move feels like an overplay to me, but the robot probably thought it gave white the best chance at this point. So I played here. Black's just looking to make eye space. And the thing is this actually isn't 2 eyes yet, believe it or not. So we continue to harass it. And black tries to respond aggressively, which is giving me another opportunity. So we come out underneath, and again, we're just trying to limit this thing to 2 eyes. But this move prevents the shenanigans and makes this into an eye. Because black can either capture or eye. I think this is probably bad timing, though. Black should continue to play over here first. Because at this point, I actually profit a lot. If I'm able to connect this group with this, hey, I mean, there's now that 10-ish point corner with a weak shape went to almost 20 points. Black profits there. I take this time to take the corner, so play this out. Peep at this shape. There's a connection problem there. Take all this forcing moves. Hey, I'm thinking maybe I can make 5, 6, 7 points in the middle bottom here. We make this. We save these stones because that's big. And here, I fixed. I don't remember if why that move is necessary. It probably is. This video's already gone long enough. I just wanted to get you guys closer to the end of the game. Black plays here. Robot says it's a mistake. Here's a good opportunity for white to screw up, I guess. Black should just play here and just guarantee the 2 eyes. Like it's Sente. It's 1 game. Black can reduce this. Even though white profited over here and maybe profit over here, there's still a really big weakness. I mean, again, black has a lot of points now up here because these are all dead. So black makes this mistake and needs to scramble. So makes this cut. Aha, but white plays here. Black tries to short the liberties. He finally fixes to come back to make the eye. But there's this poke, which again is a problem. or I mean, it's not a real. Is it a real? Yeah, it is a. It is a real problem. If black, well, black didn't respond. Can I play here? What happens if I do this? One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3. Wait, did I just win the game? What? What? Did this work? Does black have to fight Ko? No. Wait, what? Like I saw this like in the game. I saw this thing, and then for whatever reason, what happened here? I played here, and then black played there. What? What? Wait, wait, hold on. Hold on. Oh my god. I need to... Ah! Black plays here, we play here. Oh, right. Okay, there we go. Ha! Alright. It doesn't work yet. White needs one move out here in order to make this thing work. You guys saw that, right? Alright, no hallucinating. If I take this Atari, black plays here first. That's the ticket. And I can't play here yet because that's 2 ice. So I'd have to take, yep. Alright, so there, take, Atari, and white can't connect because that's death. Okay. Okay. But it does mean, right, if I play like a move like this, that's Sente to kill. I can play that right now. And like black tries this. Now there's nothing here, correct? There's nothing, it's 1 eye. That's 1 eye. So I mean it's a chance your opponent doesn't see this. But he got scared. He told me after the game actually that he's like, at this point, like here after I did this move, he's like, oh wait, there's a problem here. That's what he played here to fix. And then I played here, and this was just like really bad. This made it not even. Took it from like a countable game, and ended up putting black up over 10 points because this is really bad shape. It turns out this stone needs to be here. And when I played here, I was worried about this. But again, I'm in Byoyomi at this point. And I don't know which Byoyomi, but I was real hard-pressed to like figure out this area. And so when I play here, black has this nice combination to eat those 2 stones. And I think this is about the end of the game record. We exchange some big points. We play out a few bit more, but it's it's pretty clear I lose by more than 10 after Komi. So... what can we say about this game? Well, I was pretty disappointed. I immediately asked my opponent, said, thank you for the game. I need to use the restroom. I'll be back. Can we review? And he very kindly reviewed it with me. And, he identified some of the key points. That's when he told me also that he thought he saw something, that's why he played this move, and again, I responded incorrectly to this cut. Yeah, just a lot of mistakes, and it was really bad time management. I didn't drink almost any tea in the mornings, I think, after this game, just because I just apparently had, like, shot my bladder to hell, like, just completely filled the tank, and that was a terrible idea. Especially for, again, my body type, which apparently likes to just, like, leak all its fluids in, stressful situations like this. So this shall henceforth be known as the P game, I guess. That's what we're going to go with. So here, I'm just going to remind myself, yeah, so here even, some small mistakes accumulate, It's a very big mistake to take over the game, but it's still accumulated. I mean, it's still not like a game. This isn't the kind of mistake that's going to cost you the game, but you're giving yourself less of a chance to win the game. We actually don't use your stones. And just here's another one. There's lots of little mistakes, just sort of accumulating. But then an opportunity. And again, man, I could have just blown this up. And I should have. But it's still okay. Like, I still had this opportunity. Still an opportunity. At some point, I just need to find time to make this move. Yeah, I just thought this really didn't threaten anything. Because of this problem. But I have to remember, it's not, like, at all, like, white, this cuts through, like, this doesn't do anything. So, like, or sorry, like black can't do anything is what I should say. So worried about this? This feels like something I was worried about. But I shouldn't be, because again I got these peeps. I just want to like go like keel over and like moan in pain for a while. Just not fixing this. Because in the end, alright, like not having an extra stone here meant I have to be very cautious when fixing, and I don't fix it correctly, and then I don't execute it well. Even if I did fix it correctly, maybe I still screw up something like this, and I let his two weakest groups connect. And at this point, we're just crying. That's all I want to see. Alright, so henceforth, the P game shall be over. Look forward to my next game in the series. My next game in the series... I start to get really violent in some of my games. Like you saw in that first one, I had that huge kill. In this game, I was really pretty severely attacking two huge groups, while also getting attacked a little bit myself. The third game will also feature, oh my god, just like huge groups dying, just massive everything, co-fights, huge like 100-point moyos, death, trading death. You don't want to miss my third game, so look for that video coming out soon. I'll probably take a few days before I record it here, yeah, I'll see you guys next time.